Hi everybody, I hope you all are doing good and I hope that this lockdown school at home sessions are really helping you. Today we are going to discuss about chapter number 2, that is microorganisms friend or foe. Alright, are you excited to know about this? So, firstly, I'll introduce you what is microorganism. Means we are going to shake hands with microorganism and we are going to say hi to the microorganism. Okay, so let's do it. Microorganisms are, what are they? They are very small structures. They are very small organisms which we cannot see from our eyes, which are not visible to us. If you see in your room, if you just move around your eye, can you see other organisms? I don't think. But there exist lots and lots of microorganisms. So microorganisms are present all around us. They are too small to be seen with naked eyes. They are present everywhere in the atmosphere, whether it be air, whether it be water, whether it be soil, everywhere they are present. So now, as we know, microorganisms are very small organisms and which cannot be seen with the unaided or the naked eye. But how do people came to know that the microorganism exist? So this happened in 1665 when the Robert Hooke made the first microscope and he observed the presence of microorganism. That is how the world came to know that the microorganisms do exist. Microorganisms either can be unicellular or multicellular. Microorganisms either they can live alone or they can be found in groups, which is called colonies. For example, you would have observed the bread which gets spoiled during the rainy season and its surface gets covered with the greenish white kind of patches. So those patches are actually a layer of microorganisms. Now the question is, where do these microorganisms live? So microorganisms have inhabited the earth longer than any other being. The first organism to come onto our earth is the microorganism. They were developed when the earth was a mass of lava, boiling water, methane, ammonia and other gases. But now they are in all places. They are around us, in air, in water. Okay, they are in our body also, in our hands also. They are even found in the hot thermal springs which have temperature of 100 to 180 degrees or more. They are even found in the salt seas which have very high amount of salt. They are also found in the very cold climatic condition. So there is no place where microorganisms do not exist. Our body is a home to trillions of microorganisms. About 1 to 3% of our body mass is made up of microorganisms. So there are different types of microorganisms which we are going to discuss in this session. There are basically 5 major types of microorganisms. Okay, they are bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa and viruses. How many types are there? 5 types. Okay, they are bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoan and viruses. So if we talk about bacteria are found in 4 different shapes. Okay, the first shape is called cocci. Cocci means the round shaped bacteria. Then comes the second shape is bacillus. Bacillus means the rod-like shaped bacteria. The third shape of the bacteria is vibrio. That means the comma-shaped bacteria. The next shape of the bacteria is called spiral shape. Spiral shape, the bacteria generally have coil-like structure. Okay, so there are few examples of bacteria, for example lactobacillus, E. coli, streptococcus, etc. Now if we talk about algae, what is algae is, algae are basically those microorganisms which can either be unicellular or they can be multicellular as well. Algae can prepare its own food, so they are the photosynthetic microorganism. Okay, so let's come to the fungi. What is fungi? Fungi are basically the non-green and without chlorophyll. Fungi are a group of diverse organisms and they can either feed on the dead matter or they can draw their food from the living plants and animals. So either they can be called saprophyte, means they feed on the dead matter, or they can be called as a parasite, means they feed on the living plants and animals. Okay, few example of unicellular fungi is yeast, and the example of multicellular fungi is a mushroom. Now let's talk about protozoans. So I hope very few of you would have heard this word called protozoan, but protozoans are the unicellular microorganisms. Protozoans were the first animal to be found on the earth. Few examples of protozoa are amoeba, euglena, and paramecium. Let's talk about virus. Viruses are very different from the other microorganism. Let me tell you how they make a difference from the other microorganisms. So the viruses are also coming under this category, but viruses are ultra microscopic, means they are even much smaller than the bacteria, algae, fungi, and protozoans. They are mostly called as the link between living and non-living thing. Let me tell you why they are called so. Because the virus, when they are outside of the body of the host, for example, let's consider me as a host, okay? So when this virus are in the atmosphere or in the water or so on, so whenever they are outside the body of a human, they are inactive, they are not doing anything, they are just roaming but not doing anything. They are not breathing, they are not taking food, they are not excreting, they are doing no activity at all. We cannot even say that they are living when they are outside the host body. But when they enter the host body, they start using the host body for making its copies, like a photocopy machine. In the photocopy machine, you can just put your copy and you can just press the number of copies you want. So similarly, virus use our machine, our body to make its copies. That is why they are called the link between living and non-living beings. So these viruses can also reproduce, can also make their copies inside the bacteria, and those viruses which attack bacteria are known as bacteria eater or bacteriophage. What they are known as? Bacteria eater or bacteriophage. So the common ailments like cold, influenza, and most of the cough are caused by viruses. Serious disease like polio and chickenpox are also caused by viruses. So here you can see the pictures of spiral bacteria, rot bacteria, algae, which is one of the unicellular algae seen, that is Chlamydomonas, and multicellular, that is Spirogyra. Then comes the protozoan, which are always unicellular. They are amoeba and paramecium. Then comes the fungi, which is bread mold, as you have seen in the picture, that greenish layer which was caused by the bread mold. And there comes the penicillium, aspergillus. These all are the examples of fungi. So this is the structure of virus. Okay, first picture is of a bacteriophage. Bacteriophage is the virus which attacks bacteria. As I told you earlier, they are also known as bacteria eater. Okay, so you can see that there is a head of the virus. Virus generally has only two things. One is a layer of protein, and inside it comes the genetic material. So here these are the two types of viruses. One is bacteriophage and the another is HIV virus, which causes the disease called AIDS. Thank you. I'll meet you. We'll discuss about more things in our next part.